Let's say we have this square inscribed inside of this circle, and we want to find the area of the shaded region. And all we're told is that the distance from the center of the square to this vertex is 5 centimeters. Given only that information, how can we find the area of the shaded region? Well, there's a 3-step process we can use. The first is, let's find the area of the circle. The second step is, let's find the area of the square. And the third step is, let's subtract the area of the square from the area of the circle. So let's write step 1, the area of the circle. The formula to find the area of a circle is pi r squared, where r is the radius. So one thing we'll notice is that the vertex of this square right here perfectly touches the outside of the circle. So that means that this distance right here of 5 centimeters is actually the radius of the circle as well. So if the radius is 5, we can plug that in for the radius. So we get pi times 5 squared. 5 squared is 25, so we get 25 pi. So that's the area of the circle. Next, let's find the area of the square. So the trick that we can use to find the area of the square is we need to know what is this side length right here. Because once we know one side length, we just square it to find the area of the square. So if this distance from the center of the square to this vertex is 5 centimeters, we can draw another line from the center to another vertex, and it must also be 5 centimeters. And when we do that, these two lines form a perfect right angle. So now we just have a right triangle where we need to figure out what is the hypotenuse of this triangle. And remember, the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So this is the hypotenuse of the triangle. When we have a right triangle like this, we can use the following formula to find the hypotenuse. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where c is the hypotenuse. So we can plug in 5 for the value for a and b. So we get 5 squared plus 5 squared is equal to c squared. 5 squared is 25, so 25 plus 25 is 50 is equal to c squared. To find c, we just take the square root of each side, and we find that c is equal to the square root of 50. So this side length right here of the square is the square root of 50. So to find the area of the square, we just do the square root of 50 squared. So what would that be? The square root of 50 squared, that's just 50. So the area of the square is 50. So we'll write equals 50. And the very last step is we need to subtract the area of the square from the area of the circle. So I'll make a little room right here. So the area of the circle we said is 25 pi. And we're going to subtract the area of the square, which is 50. If you punch this into a calculator, you get about 28.54. And remember, the units are centimeters. We'll say centimeters squared, since we're talking about area. So the area of this shaded region is 28.54 centimeters squared.